When we see it, you see it. That's our promise. Federal investigators in California just announced an arrest in connection with last month's bombing of a fertility clinic in Palm Springs. CBS News correspondent Shanelle Kaul with this breaking news. What are they saying at that podium?
Right, so Reed, we just started to hear from federal prosecutors moments ago in Los Angeles. They now say 32-year-old Daniel Park of Kent, Washington, was arrested last night at New York's JFK airport. Park was arrested in connection with the Palm Springs bombing. This happened, as you know, on Saturday, May 17th. This was a bombing that a senior FBI official had called possibly the largest bombing scene in Southern California. Now, prosecutors, Reed, have already identified 25-year-old Guy Edward Barkis as the suspected bomber in this case. Barkis is believed to have died in that blast. But now they say that they believe Park actually shared Barkis's extremist views. Moments ago, they said they alleged that Park actually shipped 180 pounds of ammonium nitrate to Barkis in the days leading up to that attack, and that Park spent about 2 weeks actually visiting Barkis earlier this year in January and February, running experiments together in their garage. Prosecutors also, Reed, believe that days after the bombing, Park left the U.S. for Europe. Let's take a listen to what prosecutors said, and here's some local coverage from our partner at KCAL moments ago.
Title 18, United States Code Section 2339A, providing and attempting to provide material support to a terrorist, the man who committed a suicide car bombing of the American Reproductive Centers in Palm Springs, California. The federal statute makes it unlawful to provide or attempt to provide material support or resources knowing or intending that they are to be used in preparation for or in carrying out a violation of certain offenses, including 18 U.S.C. 2332A, which is the use of a weapon of mass destruction. The elements of a use of a weapon of mass destruction is that such as a weapon that was used, it was done knowingly against any person or property within the United States, and that property was used and affected interstate or foreign commerce. Mr. Park was arrested last night at John F. Kennedy International Airport in New York City after returning to the United States from Poland, where law enforcement officials there detained him. He's expected to make his initial court appearance today in the United States District Court in Brooklyn, New York. The sole fatality of last month's act of terror was the bomber himself, 25-year-old Guy Edward Barkis of 29 Palms, California. The bomb injured numerous victims, destroyed the clinic's building, and damaged surrounding buildings and areas, causing a debris field of approximately 250 yards in size. During the investigation, law enforcement learned of Barkis's pro-mortalist, anti-natalist, and anti-pro-life extremist ideology. We also learned that the bomber had help. Mr. Park, who shares Barkis's extremist beliefs, is accused of shipping approximately 180 pounds of ammonium nitrate, an explosive precursor commonly used to construct homemade bombs, to Barkis. Park paid for an additional 90 pounds of ammonium nitrate that was shipped to Barkis in the days leading up to the Palm Springs attack. Law enforcement learned that Park spent approximately 2 weeks visiting Barkis's residence in 29 Palms in late January and early February of this year, spending time together, running experiments in Barkis's garage, where the FBI recovered large quantities of chemical precursors and laboratory equipment after the bombing, as described in the complaint filed today in court. We also know that Park, days after the bombing, left the United States to go to Europe. I stress that this complaint contains allegations only, and that Park is still considered innocent until proven guilty in a court of law. I want to sincerely thank our colleagues at the FBI for their determination and thoroughness in investigating this act of domestic terrorism. I also want to thank Polish law enforcement who detained and ultimately deported Park last night to the United States. Our citizens deserve to live in a country where they feel safe. We will continue to pursue all leads. This is an ongoing active investigation, and will bring anyone involved to justice. I'm now pleased to introduce Mr. Akil Davis, the Assistant Director in charge of the FBI's Los Angeles Field Office, who will further discuss this case.
Good morning. As United States Attorney Bill Saley said, my name is Akil Davis. I'm the Assistant Director in charge of the FBI's Los Angeles Field Office. I want to begin up front by thanking multiple partners. Some of you have already heard from already at the U.S. Attorney's Office. However, our partners in our legal attaché office in Warsaw, Poland, our authorities and partnerships there, along with the Riverside and San Bernardino County Sheriff's Department, Chief Andy Mills at the Palm Springs Police Department and his resources that assisted in this, and all of our first responders that helped us with this ongoing investigation. Our Joint Terrorism Task Force in Riverside, California is the lead investigative agency, and in doing so, they're working with all of the agencies that I had just mentioned. As the U.S. Attorney highlighted, this is a very detailed investigation, and more facts are coming out every single day. What we know at the moment is that Daniel Park flew to Warsaw, Poland, via Denmark on May 21st, where he was detained on May 30th by Polish authorities. Again, deported back to the United States, where he was arrested last night at JFK. What we know about Park is that he did have similar ideology to Guy Bartkus. He posted about these ideologies on internet forums dating all the way back to 2016. We're able to confirm through our investigation that 6 packages of ammonium nitrate were shipped from Park in Seattle to Bartkus in 29 Palms. We are currently awaiting the results of some of that analysis from the explosive precursor chemicals shipped from Park to Bartkus. We're conducting analysis in both locations. Following the bombing, we executed several search warrants, which is how we know about the 6 packages of ammonium nitrate. One thing that we did determine in our search warrant in Seattle was that Park was in possession of an explosive recipe that was similar to the Oklahoma City bombing. We believe that Park had knowledge of how to create an amphibomb ammonium nitrate fuel oil bomb. Park's social media posts indicate that he was attempting to recruit others of like-minded ideology and discuss these things on internet forums. We've discussed previously that a phone was found near the bombing site, and a video recording found on that phone captured Bartkus talking to the camera and going back and forth from the car to the phone that was to the car that was parked in front of the fertility clinic. Bartkus remained in the car for approximately 30 minutes until the explosion occurred. Mr. Park's contributions to the destructive device detonated on May 17th led to the charges today, and we continue to ask the public to come forward with any information. You can call 1-800-CALL-FBI or visit us at tips.fbi.gov. You can also upload photos to fbi.gov/Palm Springs vehicle explosion. We must strive to prevent anything like this from happening again. We want to learn everything about the ideology involved in this. We need to know everything we can on anyone that assisted this. We need to keep our community safe, as the United States Attorney stated, and we do that together. Thank you, and we will now open it up for questions. Ma'am.
Are you still looking for...
So, Reed, once again, you were listening into our coverage from KCAL, our partner station in Los Angeles. And I do want to say these new details are interesting because it's painting a more accurate picture of what prosecutors allege may have happened and led up to that attack. We're also learning that Polish authorities actually detained Daniel Park at the request of U.S. officials. He was apparently flown from Poland to JFK, where he was then arrested by the FBI. We also know, Reed, that Park is now set to appear in a Brooklyn federal court. That will happen at 2 p.m. Eastern today, so in just about 1 hour. And we've got cameras there tracking that appearance as well.
Well, and I believe the photograph we just showed on television for clarity to our viewers, and my producer can get in my ear and tell me if I'm incorrect, is the person who died in that blast. We are yet to see a photo of the man detained who came in from Poland. I just wanted to button that up because that face pulled up on camera, Shanelle. Thank you so much for following that. Those points also struck me as brand new.